How do you use your memory for memoir? That's the topic I'm addressing today with the right question. I'm Daphne Gray-Grant, the publication coach, still in pandemic mode. I have a question from Brenda Gibson, a writer based in Drayton, Ohio. Here's what she's asked by email. I'm trying to write a memoir about my marriage to a wonderful man and his long journey with cancer. I've written probably 25%. I have the opening chapters and I've written the ending. It's the in-between that gives me anxiety. My problem is that when I try to recall certain memories, not enough details come back. I get anxious, worried, and frustrated. If I knew that the memories would come back with greater clarity, if I kept pressing on, maybe it would be easier, but I'm afraid they'll never come back in great enough detail. Any suggestions? Thanks for your really important question, Brenda, which arrived on my desk close on the heels of another video I did about memoir. See link below. Here's the important thing to understand about memoir. Even though it's nonfiction, it should be written very much like a novel. For example, there should be plot, interesting characters for readers to care about, scenes, tension and rising action, character arcs in which the characters change over time. Doesn't that sound like something you learned about in grade 10 English class? The bottom line is that you're writing a novel, but it's based on truth. And like any good novelist, you should use your imagination to make up the details you can't remember. Some people have a hard time believing that it's acceptable to use your imagination for a memoir, but of course it is. The book is your memory of a certain part of your life. It's seen through your eyes. And if this attitude bothers you, consider putting an explanatory note in your preface. It could say something like, "My memoir is based on my recollections of the past 30 years. When I couldn't recall specific dialogue, I worked to make it true to my emotional memory, and I checked my recollections with others involved." I've read many memoirs, and I've seen writers include dialogue from when they were 5 years old. Do you think they remembered that? Of course not. But the rule with making things up is that they need to be true to the spirit of what you remember. Here's another essential point. Don't fret about dull and mundane details. You don't need to remember what you had for dinner on August 15th, 1992, nor do you need to recall what your husband gave you for Christmas that year. But if something important happened, you will remember it. Reconstruct those feelings and mine them for every detail you can recall. Here's where mind mapping can really help you. I've written lots of blog posts on mind mapping and shot a number of videos as well. Links to all that material are included below. Another important aspect of novelizing your life relates to really nailing down the scenes. If you can't recall certain locations, do some research. Ask close friends and family members what they recall. And if you can, go back and visit certain locations. Perhaps houses you used to live in, schools your kids used to go to, hospitals you had to visit with your husband. There's no shame in doing this type of research. In fact, it's one of the key jobs of being a writer. My husband, who has a background in sciences, is currently writing a memoir of his early life for our kids. He's going through boxes of old photographs and family records to try and stir his recollections. He also knows that his brother has a better memory than he does, so he calls his brother all the time to double-check facts. Brenda, I know it might seem ironic that you need to do research on your own life, but that's just the way it is. Research is an important part of the job of being a writer. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from the late Polish-American writer Isaac Bashevis Singer. "The true story of a person's life can never be written. It is beyond the power of literature." Brenda, I'm confident your memory will improve as you start to do more research. Don't imagine that research is just about thinking. It also involves talking to others, visiting locations, and looking at old records and photographs. If you'd like to learn more about how to make your writing a happier and more rewarding process, check out my latest book, Your Happy First Draft. It's not available in bookstores or on Amazon. The only place you can get it is my website. Link below and in the show notes.